Welcome, my name's Doctor Warrick Bishop. I'm a cardiologist, I'm an author and a keynote speaker. I'm CEO of the Healthy Heart Network. I'm all about trying to help people live as well as possible for as long as possible. Heart disease is huge in Australia. Every 20 minutes someone suffers a heart attack. Most of these could probably have been avoided if only we knew what to do. This podcast is all about helping you understand blood pressure, weight, cholesterol for better health. If you enjoy this podcast, I would be honoured for a 5-star review. You can share it with your family and friends. It may well save someone you love. Hi, it's Dr. Warrick here, and thank you so much for joining me on my podcast and videocast station. I've actually got a bit of a unique podcast opportunity today, the very first time I've done a father and son. And I'm super excited to welcome Stephen and Sam Crean, who are both chiropractic doctors working in Hobart at Hobart and Kingston Chiropractic. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Thank you for having us, Dr. Warrick. Okay, nice to see you again, Dr. Warrick.
Look, by way of background for those listening, Stephen is dad. He's been in chiropractics for approximately 40 years, and Sam has followed those footsteps and has been practicing for nearly a decade. And I guess there's a couple of things we really want to cover. One is some of the bits that people may not understand about chiropractics and where it can fit in for their best health journey. But I'm particularly interested to know what it's like with a father and son working together, and I'll direct my first question to Sam. What's it like working for your old man?
Dr. Warrick, it has its good days and bad days, as you could understand, but thankfully mostly good. Look, I got into this profession because I saw the amazing impact Dad was having on so many people's lives, and that's why I do what I do, and I endeavor to get better at what I do every day I'm in clinic. It's a pleasure. It's fantastic. The trouble is disconnecting when we get home and talk about work at the family dinner is the family going, "I'm sorry, guys, we're not at work anymore. You can relax."
Yeah, 100%. Look, I know my son's very interested in science and some of the aspects of medicine, and we get caught on conversations all the time. We have to be aware of the environment we're in and whether we're inadvertently excluding people or not. So I completely
Yeah.
understand. Stephen, what's it been like seeing your son come through the ranks and join you? Must be an absolute privilege and something you're very proud of.
When our kids were young, we wanted a couple of things for our kids. We wanted them to be happy, we wanted them to be good people, and we wanted them to follow their dreams and passion. And at no stage did my wife and I ever think that any of our family would be involved in our practice and the things that we do in healthcare. And much to my surprise, is when it came time to make decisions. So Sam, who has been an elite gymnast, has been very interested in being strong, fit, and coordinated and balanced as he competed over a number of years. And I presume that some of that, he's seen, has led him to make some decisions, which really surprised us. And every day, I think I'm just a little proud, and I feel very humbled that he's happy to work here. He did go and get rid of the wet behind the ears and spent time working in Northern Beaches in Sydney for a few years before returning to Tasmania. We actually have another member of the family who works with us also.
Wow. Okay. Well, look, for those listening, I can tell you that there's a lot of integrity and authenticity with what these guys are saying. I've had the chance to meet them socially. There's no question that independently, they're both passionate about really making a difference for people's health when it comes to supporting people with their chiropractic techniques and specialty. But I know that they both get on extremely well because I've had the chance to observe that firsthand. What I'd really like to do, though, is open it up to both of you because there are aspects of chiropractic that people just may not understand. And often people think, I'll go to the chiropractor if I've got a bad back, but it's much more than that. I'll invite either of you to open that up and talk to really where you see chiropractic can offer benefits beyond backs, perhaps helping populations that are not aging, perhaps children, or even before people start to recognize ailments.
Mm. Okay, so thank you, Warwick. One of the things we do, and we use a chiropractic as our tool and a passion to do things well and make a difference for people. A big chunk of the people that we see at work are older people. So probably around 60% of our practice are people over the age of 50, and that brings with it some special opportunities and some challenges. Now, one of the things that saddens me is that when we have people who come into the clinic and we see that they are performing below their potential, so they are held back, they are not able to enjoy their grandchildren, they're not able to travel because they can't get in and out of a car, or just pulling on the shoes and socks becomes a struggle. Or it could be more challenging things. They have trouble getting in or out of bed, or cooking, or cleaning. And what we like to do is we like to see and find ways that we can enable them to be better. So sometimes that's just very simple stuff about the things that we all hear about, which is, you need to move, you need to do some stretching. But one of the things that chiropractic does is it changes people's mobility, it changes the neurology, it allows them to do more, to be better, to have less pain. And we see that that's really important. So that if we can influence our older patients and they can be more comfortable, more mobile, more capable, then they can do all those important things. That means they can look after their muscle mass, they can help their cardiovascular health, they can manage their bone density, and really important, they're less likely to fall over. And we all know what happens when people fall as they get older, and it's really sad. So that's a big part of what we like to achieve. Now, I reckon Sam is busting to turn around and help us understand how some of that actually works. So I'm just going to take a moment and let the intellect take over.
That's far too
Well,
kind. Uh,
before you do jump in, Sam, and thank you for sharing that, Stephen. The reason that we connected was that shared desire to help people through that journey of mobility, stability, functional capacity. And we've actually recognized that with the chiropractic work that you guys are able to offer, you can keep people moving and mobile to a degree that they can come and share the services that we've got here at Osteostrong, where we build strength specific through our machines and different programs here. And so there's this realization that there are different aspects of a healthcare journey that can all be complementary. So it's a really important journey that people need to be on, and you need to carry more than one suitcase, I think. Sam, over to you.
oh, that's a wonderful point, and we love working with your team at Osteostrong and seeing people move. So what I thought I'd do is I'd jump in. Now, there's many different flavors and types and other theories within the chiropractic profession, but what everything tends to come back to is when we're discussing the spinal column, particularly what makes a healthy spine versus an aging spine, it comes back down to the quality and capacity and ability of the spine to move and function as it was designed. I'm holding, for those that are listening online, I'm holding a little model of a spine in front of me. It's showing the vertebra, how the nerve passes down through the center of the spinal column, how the nerves then exit through the spaces in the spine created by the intervertebral discs that connect to our muscles, our proprioceptors, and our organs to allow our body to work at its best. Our job is really quite simple and elegant in some ways. It's find a part of the body that's no longer moving at its full capacity or in its normal way, and it's about finding ways to return normal capacity and function back to those segments and create balance within the body, so that when you go enjoy your hobbies, you go to osteostrong and do your weights, the body has greater capacity to load and to tolerate load, and from there, then we can work on finding good health. So
Sam,
there's a introduction.
sorry. I was going to say, Sam, some of the people listening may have experienced chiropractic services before or chiropractic care before, and some people may not have. There may be people who are listening wondering if everything in chiropractic care centers on the spine and mobilizing or moving the spine. And would you speak to, or Stephen, would you like to speak to whether it's only the spine that you address or whether you look to manipulate, mobilize, or move other joints if that was required?
Okay, thank you, Warwick. All right, so when we talk publicly, what we do is people want, the 10-second elevator pitch. What is it that chiropractors do? And we use words like anywhere there is muscles, ligaments, tendons, joints, bones, and nerves is us. That's us. So any problems that affect those structures, it's okay to ask a chiropractor, can they make a difference or can they help? So that's our scope. So there is no doubt that working, 60 to 80% of the people that come in to see a chiropractor are looking for help that involves their axial skeleton. So base of the head, neck, down through the shoulder blades, hips and pelvis. Out of the remaining 20%, and to be fair, people often come in and they've got multiple areas that we need to have a look at. So it might be their back, it might be the achy, rusty knees, it could be the elbows and the fingers, it could be I can't dry my hair anymore or brush my hair, and I wish I had much more to brush. But it is all of those things. And so we use those principles that Sam just showed and we apply that everywhere. Now we know that the anatomy and neurology is different in the hands, wrists, and fingers, but some of the underlying principles about function and capacity and movement and stability are the same, and we apply those all over. So what that does is a big chunk of what we do is active treatment and active care. But what we also do is we want to empower our patients so that they can take some control too. So they know what it is that we are doing and what can they do to facilitate that. So very commonly, people go home with a little package of homework, but people also we do work with ergonomics, which is how can we help them be their most efficient in their workspace, in their kitchen space, or when we've worked with soccer and AFL, how can they be on the ground at their best?
One of the things that Dr. Crean hasn't mentioned humbly is that we have worked collaboratively with some of our local football clubs for well over a decade, running their medical teams, training the physios, the massage therapists on how to apply these philosophies within their scope. And it's well within the scope of a chiropractic profession to be involved with that.
So one of the things that you were touching on there, Stephen, in particular, and you can speak to this if you wish, Sam, is that concept of dealing with people's pains and limitations, but also helping them fulfill or find their maximal capacity, that interplay between pain and capacity. Do you want to speak, either of you like to speak to that momentarily?
Okay, so I'm going to grab that just for a second because this is really good. Sometimes we tell people that we sometimes hurt them, Warwick. And sometimes what we need to do things that are a little bit uncomfortable, unpleasant to help. So good pain, good discomfort. Sometimes there are things that we have which are unpleasant and bad discomfort. So that's the sort of thing, that's the pathology, that's the things that we need to help. And sometimes when you're working with people, we have to push those boundaries a little bit because if we don't make it to the next level of improvement. So sometimes some pain is what we're trying to help people with, but there's a process to go through to make that difference.
Oh, having the ability to adapt to your environment and surroundings. You've got to create adaptation within the body to achieve that.
Yeah.
One of the great things when it comes to performance is picking up on things early enough or helping someone reach balance and potential before those problems really start to arrive. And I'll be honest, we love helping everyone that comes into our clinic, and we get amazing results with people who struggle with pain. But it's the people that come in understanding how they want their body to feel over the next 40, 60, 80 years of their life. And it's the whole families bring their children in and understanding what good health, good spinal health and fundamentals means throughout your life, that's what actually really gives us joy in practice, is guiding those people through that.
I've got a story.
Well, I can't believe you're saying that, because I was about to say we're actually running out of time. We're going to wrap it up soon, but I'd love to hear one of your cases, an exemplar of what you guys are able to do.
Okay, so we're a little bit cautious about what we say publicly because we've got rules and guidelines to follow. However, the story I was hoping to hear is an older person's story. So what we have is we've got some people that have taken a journey with us, and their journey started out as a pain journey, and it has progressed into a how do I stay at my best? How do I be well journey? And what we've done is we've just got them to do some reflection, and that is, how are you? How do you fit into your 70-year-old group, your 80-year-old group? And what they do is they have a little look in the mirror and they've gone, I'm not using a walking stick. I actually help them get out of the bus. I drive myself. And I look at them, and some of them have got sticks or walking frames. I don't want to be those people. I want to be the me person. And it just makes them feel so good about the decisions they've made to be better. That was it.
That's amazing.
And you're speaking to independence, actually, Steve, and I think all of us want to see people live as well as possible for as long as possible, not decline and fade away and lose that quality of life. And the mobility, the reduction in pain, the support you're giving people, it sounds profound. And for anyone out there who's wondering whether this might be something that could be helpful, go and check it out. These good doctors are at Hobart and Kingston, but you may be listening to this in another area altogether. Check out your local chiropractics. Dr. Stephen and Dr. Sam, thank you so much as a father and son duo to be the first on the Dr. Warrick Bishop podcast. In fact, I'm going to do an interview with my son because we're going to talk about some specific science that he's.
I want to follow you.
So he and I will be the next father and son combo on the podcast. But I really thank you guys for your time and sharing. For anyone listening, I hope we've given you some good information. I am always very grateful. If you've listened this far, it means that you've found it engaging and hopefully something that's relevant for you or someone you care for. If you've got any queries or questions, drop us a note at Dr. Warrick Bishop online. And till next time, I hope you live as well as possible for as long as possible. Take care and bye for now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dr. Warrick.
Thanks, Warrick.
Did you know that coronary artery disease kills 1 in 4 people? So most of us are likely to carry some risk or know someone who does. If you're interested in finding out more about how to evaluate that risk, check out www.virtualheartcheck.com.au. It'll give you information about risk and what else can be done to be even more precise.